So, yeah, you really have to be an optimist because I've gone 40 feet straight down and not hit nothing. And people are like, you're out of your mind. Yeah, but what if I'm right? What if I am right? There's the optimist right there. Because if I'm right, you're going to be, going to have to give me an apology and eat those words. So, and when we started drift mining, a lot of people thought it was crazy. And
explain what a drift mine is for people that don't know.
Oh,
because I
yeah.
don't.
Well, the terminology drift mine was made popular back during the Alaskan gold rush. It's when a lot of the gold was sitting down on top of bedrock, the placer gold, in a lot of this alluvial channels, alluvial flow. And so to get to it, they had to go down through all the permafrost and the ice and through the frozen gravels, and they got down to the very bedrock, the bottom, and they would drift along the top of the bedrock to get the gold off because it was deposited there millions of years ago through a lot of glacial movement that brought it down. So when I refer to drift mine, that means that it's not in solid rock. It's in like a conglomerate alluvial, and it's really soft. And the gold was deposited there millions of years ago. Through our deposit was through erosion, and so we're drifting along any type of artificial bedrock. In our case, it's caliche. It's cemented caliche, and we're drifting along the top of it to try to get as much gold as we can out of it, and hoping to find the very bottom of a pocket or the bottom of where the gold is concentrated in when it was deposited during the days of the inland sea here in Nevada. So we call it the drift mine because it is a drift mine, and we're literally drifting along the top of this really super hard caliche that you have to blast just to get through. So we dug that years ago. We started digging that, and people thought I'd lost my mind because I'd done my research. It took me about a year and a half of sampling and doing my research, and then I was confident if I dug there, I would hit gold. And I was only off by maybe 10 feet. So I felt pretty good about that.
That sounds good to me.
So we went down, and everyone's like, oh, you're crazy. There's nothing down there. It's all alkali and cemented caliches and gravels. And so I went down, and I thought, well, I'm going to start drifting this way because all my research points that it's in that direction. And sure enough, I'd say we went maybe 10 feet. It's on video. And we started finding little tiny pieces of gold in this red clay that was right on top of the caliche. And so I knew once I saw that, I was on a winner. It's just a matter of following it to get to larger concentrations, or even possibly if the source still exists. I don't know if it does. I hope it does. It might be eroded away, or it might be down there somewhere. I don't know. But you can, as you tunnel down through these layers of strata, you can actually see all the different events that took place back then, which is really interesting. You can see when the inland seas were there and they evaporated. You can see the gypsum crystals that precipitate out through the clay seams. You can see all the different hard pack layers that go down through the timeline until you get to the fine grained cemented caliche at the very bottom. My question is what's below that? And I'm having a hard time because you have to literally drill and blast to get through it. It's that solid. I mean, there's no jackhammer in the world. I get so many people telling me that. Just use a jackhammer. I'm telling you, this is like the strongest concrete times 10. There's no way. So we've had to literally drill and blast to get down through it. And I don't know how deep it is. We've ran 4-foot drill steel into it, and it still keeps going. So, and of course, as we're doing that, we got lucky. I didn't expect this one, but we ran into a cave system. So that was down there. And we started sampling the material out of the cave, and we started finding fossils. Lots of ammonites were down in the bottom. I'm hoping we hit some trilobites, but we were finding ammonites. And the clay is a reddish color. It's different than the alkali caliche that we're seeing. And the cave system that we found is going off to the right. And I want to get in there, but it's so tight. I can barely get my head in through one of the little passes.